don't appreciate what Mr. Fox did to me years ago. He robbed one of my friend's companies, made it bankrupt, and plenty over. Now the city I live in had to pay for a super huge bill due to dangerous buildings and more. What I was thinking about is not letting Mr. Fox do what appreciates him. This isn't really the story about to damage the town. There's a lost episode of Recess that I must explain to you all. It was somewhat funny and kind of dark. To start this off, my name is Franklin Bean. No, it's not Mr. Bean, you know, the comedian. I'm a man who works for an alcoholic cider factory and much more. My wife divorced me after I forgot to take care of the basement that holds all of the cider, and literally ended up me catching Mr. Fox stealing it, and getting away with it with the whole situation. I now had to marry a sweet baby named Alice, who went to Wonderland before and told me all about her adventures. Pretty sure you guys have got tired of the chit-chat. Well, I guess. I'll just explain about everything the episode said. One day we decided to move out of England to start a life in America. After moving in, I decided to visit the Goodwill store to see anything interesting and exciting. I made my way into the VHS section and got some home videotapes about Blue's Clues and plenty others. When I got myself in some new furniture to help myself move in a little, I met up with somebody by the name of Mr. Krabs, who owned a restaurant called the Krusty Krab, and was planning to move his restaurant up into the world so he can get more money to buy a carnival and plenty of other stuff. I asked him on how life was going, and he told me it was a-okay. That's when he handed me a videotape that had a picture of the Recess Gang on it. The VHS titled was All Alone and It's Fun. Mr. Krabs claimed it to be a lost episode of the show and it was meant to be the 4th season beginning. But the creators of the show decided to scrap it and keep it private because one of the tapes had managed to escape out of the vault. I got what I needed and headed back to the checkout. 2 store clerks checked out my stuff named Julie and Annabelle. They told me they owned a garden and they lived with each other, and the tape was purchased, so I went home to watch this secret episode. But Alice Liz was a huge hater for the show and she did not want me to watch Recess in front of her. So I waited until the coast was clear. Later that evening, I took my TV/VCR combo out and tape itself with me put it in the workshop where it has an outlet instead of a hippie, nippy, baloney VHS in it. The Recess intro played as normal as I got myself a root beer and a pepperoni pizza with a hot pocket and sat back. The episode title was the same as is on the case. It started off as one of the characters named Ashley Spinell, sleeping in bed until her alarm went off. She got up and decided what she should wear, and she usually wears what she normally does in the show. When Spinell went down and saw her family wasn't at the house, she looked at the clocks thinking they were wrong. And Spinell checked to see if they were still sleeping, but they were not. They were completely gone. Spinell started to realize that the town was all gone too, and then she realized and said, "Everyone, it isn't the city of the 3rd Street, I'm free." She then walks down to the school and then goes to the cafeteria to pick up some breakfast. Spinell ate some pancakes with a side of bacon, eggs, sausages, hash browns, and drank some orange juice. Then she decides to go sit on the king of the playground's chair. She liked how it's cool to see the view. After that, Spinell decides to use the gym as a change rooms to have a shower. Spinell then came out from the school and turned on the TV to watch Aqua Team Hunger Force. In the episode where she was watching, Shake, Frylock, and Meatwad were all at the farm about to the milk to the crap out of a cow. The time title card appeared and it read the next day, and Spinell was in the shower or in her own house, getting ready for the day. She heads off to school and decides to annihilate other people such as Grood Kid and the Ashleys. But the thing she took a dark turn. While Spinell was marking the Ashleys, she got cut off as her face turned pale with an expression. This is what Spinell said. "What have I done? I know I'm not dreaming. This is real." Then she started to grow tears from her eyes and went outside, presuming that she was going to cry, and I was correct. The next scene showed Spinell walking to the courtyard and kneeling down on her knees. Next, she said something that automatically came into from Alice in Wonderland. "I went along my very merry way and I never stopped for a reason. I should have known that there would be a price to pay. Someday, I given myself a good advice, but every selection I follow, I would never do the things I should I?" Then she started to cry with water-filled tears as I watched the scene for over 2 minutes until it showed what seemed to look like school buses pulling up to the front of the presuming to be that everyone was coming back. And I was right. TJ, Vince, Mikey, Gretchen, and Gus were all walking down the halls of the school with someone looked like George Clooney. I could automatically tell by his voice. It was Mr. Clooney. He had that coat on along with some glasses in his eyes. TJ opens the door to notice that Spinell was on the floor crying, and the rest of the gang goes to see what's going on. Spinell stops crying only to recognize everyone came back and gives him a hug and apologizes that she will not threaten any kid on the playground again. Then Mr. Clooney claimed that the reason why everyone disappeared was to be the National No Spinell Day. That was when I completely took the tape out. I transitioned into the show to Ashley's talking about taking their swimsuits off and showing their completely nude bodies. I took the VHS away from the player and I considered it to smash it, but I decided to wait until Alice went to work. And I was swapped out of my mind and went back to Goodwill. You could really try to imagine how I tried to watch my wife leave for work. I marched to the entrance of the thrift store until I was walked by General Asquith, and he worked for the army, and of course he asked me how my day was. I wasn't feeling that great after seeing that tape, so I went straight to the Goodwill and demanded me of this godforsaken tape. I stormed in, slamming the DVD/tape on the counter somewhere where Julie and Annabelle said, "What the hell was this?" I yelled to Julie and Annabelle. They turned around, revealing a terrible look on them. They looked terrible. They looked like they haven't been showered in weeks. I wondered what would have happened to them after Sherbert wings, so they had warts and scars all over their bodies, and they were exactly like Frankie Foster from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Lola from Charlie and Lola. "Why, as you see in Franklin," Julie said, staring at Lee, "people are like onions." I began to stutter, and onions have layers. She took out a potato peeler and then lunged out at me, and I began to stutter. And I took out the VHS tape and then ended up stabbing the potato peeler, and she stabbed the DVD slipcase. The source of its power, probably. Julie and Annabelle exploded into memes and paper as I was kicked out of Goodwill, but it's okay because I was immediately detained by the United States government, have given me a coupon for KFC. A few days later, I got a letter on the door. I could read with my glasses. I should have known that it would have been the Ashleys coming for a special exclusive recess tour in my living room. But I didn't know what I opened my door. The Ashleys were standing there. Happy smirk when they said, shiver up my spine. Scandalous, scandalous. They even smiled more. They even started taking their hairbrush and their other hair supplies, started to turn me into a girl. I looked weird and looked like Mike Skinner from Sailor Moon. Then another knock was heard, and this time was my friend Isaiah Vargas, and of course he had a gun to his hand and claiming that he was going to kill the crap out of me after those girls gave me a makeover. After he left, I heard the sound what seemed to be like the queens of bees buzzing in my living room. She told me that I should never have watched that tape because this would happen. I drove myself out of the house due to all this, ending up in a road near a farm. I met some people by the names of Matt Smith and Kit Secord, and even Mr. Smith and his daughter adopted me and punched me in the face for stealing my car, leaving me alone in the road with no means of getting home. And that, my little pretties, was All Alone and It's Fun, a Recess Lost episode, creepypasta, or funny pasta in this case, written by Ashley Armbruster. Ashley Armbruster, I want to thank you so much for this story. I want to thank you so much for sending me this story. And let's get to the story itself. Well, I actually found this one to be a rather decent and really well made funny pasta. Although I could say that there were a few grammatical errors and a few spelling errors throughout the story. I did spot a few grammatical errors and I did spot a few punctuation errors throughout the story too. So I just thought, I'd point that out, that the grammar errors and the punctuation errors just need to be fixed up, and then that way it would be a lot more easier to read. Just saying for, that. So, of course, with that being said, I will definitely say right now that I'm really, really looking forward to, basically reviewing this when I saw this. So I decided, what? Why not I read this story? Now, this story, I actually found this one to be a relatively decent, a really good creepypasta. Or funny pasta if you guys want to look at that way. I actually found a lot of good concept with the story. I actually found this story to be rather good. Like with the grammar, the sentence structuring, the storyline, basically everything about it was just flat out amazing. Like I could really tell there was a lot of time and effort into the story. And this is a very good thing what I'm saying right now, is that the story itself was absolutely amazing, saying to say the least, and it was really made really good. Now, I did say maybe just fix the punctuation errors and grammar errors, but other than that, the story was just flat out amazing. I really do enjoy this story. Now, I have not watched Recess in a very long time, so I'm gonna have to, rewatch it. So I do apologize that I mispronounced Spinelli, like Ashley Spinelli as Spinell. I think I was watching Steven Universe the other day, and that must have been what happened. I don't know, but I can honestly say that the story itself was actually relatively really good. Now, I could definitely say that the grammar is really well done and really well made. And that's something I can definitely say was that the grammar itself was really good. I could definitely say there was a lot of good time and effort into the story. And this is the very, very good thing when I say about these pastas. Like, these are funny pastas. I know it's meant to be a funny pasta and not meant to be taken seriously. But still, the story, absolutely beautiful and very well made. I can definitely say there was a lot of time and effort into the story. And I can definitely say the grammar errors that I spotted and a few punctuation errors are kind of one of the reasons why I stuttered a little bit, because, well, it was a little, I don't know how to put it. It was kind of a little, I guess maybe it was just the reason why I was stuttering a little bit was because of the grammar errors. But other than that, the story was actually really decent and really well made, which I can definitely say that this was really good. Now, I could definitely say it needs to be fixed up just a little bit, but other than that, the story would actually be really well made and very well done. And that's a very good positive thing that I could definitely say, was that the grammar was absolutely beautiful. Really well done, really well made, and I actually really liked this story. Now with that being said, is there anything negatives? Well, despite the fact that there were, maybe a few cliches incorporated into the story, other than that, the story was actually very well made and really well detailed. Like, I could definitely see, a lot of the reasons why, creepypastas nowadays are just, I don't know what it is, but I guess maybe it's just because, it's just really weird how you could say right now that I really enjoyed this story. Now, if you guys want to read it, it's on Goshia Wiki for any of you guys who want to know. So, you guys can read it if you guys want to. I'm not saying you have to sit there and do it, but if you want to, you guys can if you want. But, with all the sincerity, the story was actually very well done. There was definitely a lot of time and effort into it. And I definitely do appreciate you guys, for all the birthday wishes you gave me yesterday. I really appreciate all that. But with all being said, the story was actually very well done. The grammar was good. Sentence structure, everything about it was just flat out amazing. So I could definitely say there was definitely lots of time and effort into the story. And that is a very good positive with this. Okay. I think I kind of, already, explained long enough for the review. I'm going to say right now that this is simply my own personal opinion. And if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, or funny pastas in this case. And this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be I'm going to have to give this one a 9 out of 10. Mainly the 9 out of 10 because the cliches that were used, but yet again, I'm willing to excuse it. And another thing I could definitely say right here and right now is that because of the fact that, this story needs, the grammar errors need to be fixed up a little bit. But then other than that, it's really well done and stuff. So, I could definitely say this story just needs to be fixed up a little bit, but then other than that, the story was actually very well made. Now, anyways, what did you all think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bells when I upload so you guys won't miss a upload. And like always, I'm going to be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out. And like always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here. Oh, yeah. please roll the outro because I'm out of here. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you will get notified to my newest uploads. So with that said, I hope you guys all had a great day, and I will be seeing you all in the next video. Roll the outro because I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.